Number 3 says Jessie enjoys spending time at the mall with her friends. Sometimes her friends can't join her because they have chores at home or their parents gave them a curfew. She notices that it tends to be the same group of friends who have curfews on school nights who also have chores to do at home. Jessie wonders, in general, do students at my school who have chores at home also have curfews at night? Jessie conducts an experiment and randomly surveys 52 students at her school, asking if they have a curfew and if they have household chores. She organizes her finding into a two-way frequency table. Use the table to complete the following. How many students have a curfew and have chores? And that is the top left cell of the table. It's 26 students. B, how many students have no curfew and have chores? That is this top right, which is 9 students. C, how many students have no curfew and no chores? That would be 12 students. The frequencies found within the body of a two-way table are called the joint frequencies. The values found above are the joint frequencies, the ones that we already had. It is also possible to calculate the frequencies for the total column and the total row. These frequencies represent the total count of one variable at a time. These frequencies are called marginal frequencies because they are located on the margins of the table. Okay, so let's label these ones are joint. And these other ones that we are going to find right now are marginal. And we're going to find our totals here, which is there are 31 students with a curfew. There are 21 students without a curfew, for a total of 52 students that were surveyed, which was actually provided in the prompt above. And students that have chores would be 26 plus 9 is 35, and 5 plus 12 for no chores is 17, which also adds up to 52. D says find the totals, which we did. E says how many students surveyed have chores. If we look at our table and look at the chores row across, that was 35 students. How many of the students surveyed have a curfew? That was 31 students. G asks us to basically check out that everything seems to match up and work out with the fact that the grand total was 52 students, and it does. H, of the students who have chores, what percent of them also have a curfew? So chores was 35, and of those, 26. So 26 out of 35 is roughly 0.743, which is 74.3%. Doesn't say what to round to. You could round to the nearest whole percent or the nearest tenth of a percent like I did. I, of the students who have a curfew, what percent also have chores? So curfew is 31 and 26. And whenever we see percentages that are not 50%, and these ones are significantly away from that, we can start to make some conclusions or associations, at least based on this sample of students, which is what Jay says. So is there an association between chores and having a curfew? So we will describe kind of what we found in H and I. We'll say that there is an association of the students who have chores. 74% also have a curfew. And of the students who have a curfew, 84% also have chores. And so what we see is, what we could say is that this data supports the fact that if you have chores, you likely have a curfew. And if you have a curfew, you likely have chores. And that if your parents are establishing some of these types of rules, they're more than likely going to also maybe apply the other one, at least based on this data. And we only want to apply on this, the data from this two-way frequency table, even if in the bigger picture we might not agree with this happening. Based on this data set, we would say that there is an association based on percentages of 74% and 84%.